Welcome back to The Rhode Show. This morning in The Buzz, we are talking about, well, talking. As people in the work world, what they miss about college, and many will probably talk about their intellectual discussions with friends in different majors. But that all may be a thing of the past. Experts say that the art of conversation is becoming harder and harder to come by. Part of the problem is, well, as everybody knows, it's probably technology and everybody's obsession with it. So do you have a hard time getting into great conversations these days? And what do you think are good conversation starters? Sometimes it's tough.
It is tough, and I think for those that you know, I think it's definitely easier to get into a conversation.
Yeah.
It's meeting those people for the first time, or maybe you did meet them just once before, but they're kind of fresh faces. I think it's so hard to say something that is totally PC. You don't have to say something that you think is extremely offensive, but I just think we live in a society now where everyone is nitpicking every single word that you say. And sometimes it's not necessary and it's not needed. And what you're trying to say maybe is not, you don't need to analyze every single word of it. And I think that's where the struggle lies, is that people are trying to not say the wrong thing,
and not offend
anybody.
They're
not saying the right thing.
Right. Yeah. They always say don't talk about politics, and man, oh man, if there was ever a time, that people want to talk about politics, it's now, or religion, because that sends people into a crazy headspin too. Me, for one, when I go to an event, when all of us go to an event, you know what happens? We all end up like huddled together, don't we?
Yeah.
We all end up huddled together and talking together. As much as I try to go and talk to other people in the room, I always have a hard time starting a conversation. In many ways, I never know what to say to people. I just don't know what to say.
I've totally talked about the weather.
Yes.
And then I've walked away from a conversation going, did I really just talk about the weather to that person? But at least maybe that is even a good conversation starter, because at least gets you talking with the other person.
Yes.
Hey, how about that weather today?
Right. The other
Chilly, huh?
when I have to do an event and we're not together, I'm standing there and I'm like that kid in the lunchroom who's I'm like the kid. I kind of back away because I never know. I just don't know what to say.
You bring up a good point, though, because maybe there are people out there that it really does get in their head and they get so nervous and they start to just kind of stray away from everyone because they're not sure how to approach the situation. It's a good life lesson. If you see someone like that, whether you have got a child and it's another kid in the lunchroom, have them go up to them.
I usually go to the buffet and grab something to eat and then sit and chow down.
Yeah.
It works.
Your mouth is full, so you can't talk. All right, Brendan, do you struggle with face-to-face conversations?
No, I am a master conversationalist. Actually, I'm all kidding aside, I really like chatting with people. Where are you from? What do you do for a living? I think that's a nice entryway to get to know somebody. Are we talking conversation or pickup lines? Because I have plenty of those as well, guys.
Oh,
Would you like one right now?
Any successful
You want one right now?
Sure.
Would you like? You know what this shirt is made of? What? Boyfriend material. Thank you. Thank you very much. On that note,
and you're not taking.
Well, can you imagine? I know, it's shocking. Well, so what do our social media friends think when it comes to the art of conversation? Well, all aboard the comment train to Conversation Town. Let's try this. Robin Wilson leads us off today with her thoughts on what works and what doesn't work. The weather, definitely not politics. Patricia Adelio Estrella adds, best advice I can give, find a common interest. Observation is key. You can move forward from there. That's just my opinion. Brittany Moore joins in the discussion with a great technique. I ask a question, not just a yes or no question, but something that shows I'm interested in them. Good listeners are hard to find, so people are usually eager to share when they know I'm genuinely interested. And Josephine Slop simply can't take it, closing out the comments with, having to make chit-chat with people you don't know is the worst. Awkward. Well, some people love it, some people don't. As Larry David would say, I hate a stop and chat. I don't want to stop and chat with anybody. Most importantly, we want to hear what you think. So please like us and comment on Facebook, or you can give us a follow on Twitter and Instagram. They are all very easy to find. They are at The Rhode Show, and they're great ways to keep up with the latest show news and happenings.